Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good morning. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope your day is finding you in good spirits and all of that good stuff. We got some updates that came out last night. I know this has been shared like crazy. A lot of people have been sharing it on X, aka Twitter. And there is just a lot that's going on. And it's frustrating because we keep thinking we're going down one route and the route kind of changes a little bit. Things get a little skewed. So it's kind of like we're going back a little bit back to a lot of our original speculations, our original hypothesis. Since we're talking about chemistry and whatnot, why not keep it in the realm of science, right? With these scientific terms, okay? But this is very interesting. This is very, very interesting. We get an interview from a cousin of one of the men that was found in the backyard, and he had a lot to say about Jordan in particular. And the funny thing is that people are saying things about Jordan, but they're not really saying things about Jordan. They're just saying he's an odd duck. He's a weird dude. But now we're getting these very specific pieces of information that just shocked me. And once again, I'm like, damn, now we're back at the drawing board all over again. Dag nabbit. Okay? This could very well be an episode from Breaking Bad. It could be. This could be its own movie, for crying out loud, which I'm sure it will be. Give it time. Or it'll be an episode on Law and Order SVU. Wait for it. Just wait for it. It'll be on Law and Order at some point. Some version of this will be on there. But this is a wild story, okay? Or this is a wild piece of information that we've heard, that we're about to hear in just a second. And trust me, you guys have been texting, well, not texting, but you guys have been emailing me, DMing me. You guys have been sending me so much stuff revolving around this very clip or this very interview that, of course, I had to hop on here and watch it with y'all because it is crazy. Okay? So do me a favor. And I have questions about the cousin, too. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. He just seems... We'll talk about it. Do me a favor. Okay, some housekeeping before we get into everything. Hit that like button down below. Send it past 300 likes as you guys start to file in. Just get the show started right by hitting that like button down below. Please and thank you. All right, send it past 300 likes. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you hit that reaction button down below. That'd be greatly appreciated. Of course, do not forget, if you're watching on Facebook, hit that follow button on my Facebook page, okay? If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If you're following me or watching this on X or on any other platforms, please be sure to follow me on those platforms, okay? I'm on Twitter or X. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. All of it is The Pascal Show, one word. Go follow me there. Show some love. That'll be greatly, greatly appreciated, okay? And of course, if you want to support the channel, support the show, go check out my merch page, pascalmerch.com. I got some really great merch. I'm not kidding. I'll show it to you guys in a little bit, you know. But anyway, make sure you guys do that or hit that join button down below. Become a member if you're watching on YouTube, okay? Let us get into the things. Okay, we got some things we got to get into. And this is not going to be a super long show. I'm just going to let you guys know because there's only a little bit of information that has come out. And this is a big piece that shook me, and I know it shook a lot of other people as well, when they heard the cousin of Clayton McGeeney speak out. And he is out here. He says some things. And it all pertains to Jordan Willis. Now, real quick, before we get into this interview. If you didn't already know, if you've been living under a rock for the past 12 hours or so, or for the past day, Jordan Willis has checked himself into rehab. In fact, in one of these clips that I'm sharing with you guys, they confirm it for sure. That it's not just, a rumor, that he indeed is checked into rehab for addiction. Okay. So this isn't like rehab because he tried to do something unthinkable to himself. Excuse me. He is in rehab for addiction. So that's very specific. That's extremely specific. It's not on anything else. Now, I know because I've been reading you guys' comments and all that. Some of you guys put in your 2 cents in the chat. I don't know if these are entirely true, but I'm going to put them out here, or at least one comment that was said. Somebody said, oh, well, he could be in there because while he's in rehab, he can't get arrested. I don't know if that's entirely true or not. See, even Fuzz just said that. How funny that the Fuzz says that. That's an old saying for cops. Like, oh, the Fuzz is coming. But Fuzz apparently saying it as well. He can't get arrested if he's in there. Or while he's in there. But that's really interesting, right? If that is true, I've never really looked into that. Okay? I've never really looked into that. So I'm wondering if that is actually true. But no matter what, if he's in rehab for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 9 months, it doesn't matter. I mean, if he gets convicted, or if they need to arrest him for something, as soon as he walks out those rehab doors, he's going to get detained. So it doesn't matter if he's in rehab. Eventually, he's going to have to walk out, right? Just something to think about. But that was another thing I thought about, or, as soon as I saw that comment in the last show when I talked about him going to rehab. Okay. I'm like, interesting. That's really, really interesting. Excuse me. Hold on. Excuse me. I thought that was really, really interesting. Oh, okay. If that's the case, wow. All right. He could be in there for a while. But eventually he's going to have to come out. So, yeah. If that's true, there's a little bit of a grace period, but it is interesting because I thought in my head, what other reasons would he go and put himself in rehab if it wasn't for actual struggles with addiction? Because allegedly, we got to say allegedly still, but he allegedly seen his friends react to something in a really, really bad way. So could it be that he just really needed to go to rehab, and he's like, I have a problem. I need to go to rehab. Whether it was manufactured by him or if he bought it from somebody else, he clearly realized that, whoa, God's trying to tell me something. Okay? God's trying to tell me something. Anyway, color purple. Anyway, interesting that he would see this thing, he would witness this with his own 2 eyes, and he goes, okay, I'm very lucky that I'm still alive. Let me go to rehab. After, of course, 48 hours or 50 hours of going into, in my speculation, a very deep, dark depression, and going into his leaning even harder into his vices as well. Using product that was still in the house and whatnot. But again, all speculation. All speculation. We don't have everything yet. We don't know everything yet. All we're getting is little breadcrumbs, little pieces of the puzzle, bit by bit. Sometimes we get a big chunk. Sometimes that chunk gets taken out and gets replaced with something very small. I mean, it's frustrating, but at the same time, these are the breaks for what we have right now. So going into this, when they said that he put himself in rehab. I said, oh my Lord, I knew it. Everything that I was speculating in the very, very beginning, it seems like it's coming to fruition. Holy cow. Okay. So he was in there. He had some. He was holding. Maybe Alex brought in some more. I don't know. They did a little something. They did a little toot. Next thing you know, these guys are in the backyard gone. He sees them. He freaks out, goes into a deep, dark depression, and leans on his vices and does not pick up the phone because he's thinking, well, maybe no one will call me. Out of desperation and, of course, trying to disassociate himself from the whole situation. Thus, that's still what I lean on. But something that I said in the very, very beginning, and I know that a lot of other people had these speculations and these theories as well, was that did he put something, did he make something? Did he concoct something that the friends took? Now, what I want to say here really quick is, before, in the past, when we first talked about this, I thought that maybe he did this unbeknownst to his friends. Poisoned them, put something in the food, their drink, maybe put something in the air in the house because there was word that the dogs weren't there, right? So in my head, I'm like, okay, if the dogs aren't there and those are his pride and joys, and if he is really that sinister and diabolical, he would go and take the dogs out, have them conveniently with his papa, as he lets poisonous gaseous fumes permeate throughout the house. Now, I know that's really extreme and really like, like we're spinning off this planet. You feel me? But at the same time, when I thought about that, I was like, okay, that's a possibility if the dogs weren't there. But now, when we're hearing that the dogs were there, interesting, right? There's a possibility that these guys ingested something that he concocted. Or at least this is what Clayton McGeeney's cousin is actually saying. That he's saying that Jordan Willis was known as the Chemist. Like he was mother-loving Heisenberg. Walter White from Breaking Bad. I am the one who knocks. You know what I'm saying? I am the danger. Skyler. Remember that show? Fantastic show if you haven't seen it. I'm serious. Y'all need to sit down, plop down. If you need some good TV, watch Breaking Bad. But I digress. He's saying he's a chemist. And this guy would use his chemistry skills to concoct things for his friends. So now this paints a whole new story. A whole new batch of what the hell happened here, man. Okay. So we got to get into this video. We got to take a look at this. This is very, very interesting. But I heard this last night. Man, I was about to put up a pop-up video like damn near 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. And I was like, nah, I can't do that to my fam. We got to watch this as a family. We got to take a look at this because you guys were sending this to me like crazy. Some of y'all had mind blown emojis with the link next to it and stuff. I'm like, damn, okay. Y'all really want me to react to this video and take a look at this. So we're going to look at this together, but it is big. But again, these are just allegations from a cousin. This may not stick. This may not even be true. Okay, it all could be hearsay, or it could very well be 110% true. We have to play it like that. We got to sit on the fence, unfortunately. I know how uncomfortable that is, but sometimes you just got to ride that fence. Let's get into this video, all right? Because there is a shorter version, okay? There is a shorter version of the interview just by itself online, like on Twitter and all that. But at the same time, there's a lot more information that's being said through Ashley Banfield's conversation with the reporter that's, boots on the ground and all that. So I want everybody to hear that stuff as well. And so do me a favor, guys. I need y'all support. So it's a very simple ask. Hit that like button down below. Okay. If you appreciate the hard work, you appreciate the commentary, please hit that like button down below. Let's send it past. Let's get it to 500 likes. We're going to go in small increments today. We're going to keep it simple. Let's get it to 5. We're almost at 3. Let's get it to 5, though. Okay? A like don't cost a thing. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow on Facebook if you're watching over there, because I know the fam is watching over on Facebook. So please go subscribe and follow. Let's get into this. As Cuomo would say, let's get into it.
The prosecutors met with the families of the 3 victims today. And we're going to talk to Ricky Johnson's family about that meeting in just a moment. But first, NewsNation's national correspondent, Alex Caprariello, has been way out front on this story. He's live now in Kansas City. So do you have any confirmations on this story that that Jordan Willis has checked into rehab?
Yeah, it was one source of mine that I've met here in Kansas City who knows Jordan from early high school days was the first person to actually tell me that yesterday. And I've been working very hard to speak to other sources, trying to get that individually confirmed. And I'll tell you this, all of the people that I've been speaking to, a lot of high school classmates and also who knew Jordan from college, this is all they're talking about. This is something that's new to them. But actually independently confirming it, I have not been able to. But it is something that was shared with me early on yesterday.
I'm just getting news coming in, breaking as we're speaking, Alex. So bear with me for 1 second. Our local Nexstar station in that area is confirming that a source close to the family indeed says that he's checked into rehab. So now it's not just multiple media sources, right, your source, but also the Nexstar. I think we've got enough sources now to right, fairly confirm that he's in rehab.
Okay, so it is confirmed for sure, without a shadow of a doubt. Homeboy is locked up. We're not locked up, but homeboy is in rehab. Okay, he is most definitely in rehab. Is it to get away from 5-0? Is it to get the court of public opinion to go softer on him? I don't know. I do think that he does have some issues that he needs to work out for sure. And I think his addictions are a lot more severe and a lot more intense than what we really know, which is pretty crazy.
You did get a chance also to speak to the cousin of one of the victims, of Clayton McGeeney's cousin. I think his name is Caleb. What did Caleb know, and, right, and what did he share with you?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Caleb is very, very distraught, as any family member might be, because this was just an unexpected death to happen to him. He says Clayton was like his brother. He was cousins with him, but they were like brothers. They were like this. And so to have something like this happen to him and his family is just devastating. He was actually showing up at the Platte County Prosecutor's office, where the other parents of these 3 victims were told to go today for a meeting with the prosecutor, but he wasn't allowed into that room because it was specifically for parents only. Even still, he's really hurting about this because he feels like he knows what happened, something that the rest of the country is surmising what happened, which is drug use, abuse, and overdosing. And he says he knows a lot about Jordan Willis, the fact that he goes back all the way to high school. He knows the drug habits that happened within this circle of friends, and that he often says that Jordan was a supplier for that. Of course, this is an allegation from Caleb. This is not something that's been independently confirmed from law enforcement, but he says he has a theory about what happened, and he thinks that Jordan is responsible. Take a listen.
This is crazy. Take a listen to this guy. It's crazy.
A lot of times I'm hearing that David, Clayton, and Ricky were like brothers. Jordan was kind of off on the side. Mm-hmm. True?
Jordan's a chemist, bro.
Jordan's what?
Jordan's a chemist. They all knew him as that.
What?
It's easy for them to go have fun, but he made a mistake. Jordan was the chemist. He's a scientist, right? He does what he needs to do. And now, to use my cousin, my best friend, as a guinea pig? No.
Okay. Okay, we got to break this down. I'm sorry, guys. You know, fair use and all that crap, but whoo. Okay, first off, homeboy is sitting here saying, well, first off, he's like, Jordan's a chemist, bro. All right. He's saying a lot in that. You know that, right? He's saying a whole lot without actually saying a whole lot. I mean, he does say a whole lot in here, but damn. Okay. So he's basically saying like, yo, and he says more here in a second, but like, the hell? I don't know. It does seem a bit, I don't know. Some people, I think, were looking at this and going, does he seem like he's a little bit under the influence himself? I think this is somebody who's just exhausted, maybe emotionally exhausted. It's been a long couple weeks. It's been a long month for a lot of people. I can only imagine what he's going through personally. This is one of his, you know, he was tight with his cousin. This is family as well. And the way that Clayton passed is still devastating. But some people think that he's like on something, like he's on one. I don't know. It's hard to pick out, you know? But what he's saying here is pretty intense, you know? This is very, very, very intense, you know? So anyway, let me continue on here. But he's like, yeah, he was known as the chemist, man. He's known as the chemist. That says a lot.
What about Alex Lee? What do you know about him?
I know him.
Yeah.
Wait a second. This part is interesting. This part is very, very interesting. So just keep an eye, listen to this part when he asks about Alex Lee. This is weird.
What do you know about him?
I know him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any idea that he might have brought drugs?
Hell no.
No?
Jordan had him. Jordan was one.
So you don't think any more attention should be paid on Alex Lee?
Alex Lee is a good man. He's a good man. Alex Lee is a solid. He was one of their best friends forever. Jordan is somebody that is known from high school as like creating drugs for people to make them feel better in certain situations. Okay, well, you want to do this? Okay, I'm gonna make this for you. I'm gonna make this for you. I'm gonna make this for you, and handing him out. At this point.
Okay. Of course, we're going to break this down, but he says Alex is a good man. Alex is a great man. Okay. I mean, clearly they're tight. All of them are tight. Okay. And Alex could very well be a great guy. But I don't know. Okay. Obviously there's some, you can hear it in his voice. You can hear it in how he talks about Jordan. And then as soon as he's asked about Alex, his demeanor changes. You could hear how he talks about Alex. It's a completely different demeanor. There's obviously a bias going on here, clearly, because he believes that Jordan is the one who did all this stuff. And again, this could very well be the truth. Jordan could very well be the one who did all this stuff. It sucks because we look at Alex's rap sheet, which he does have a rap sheet, and all of it has to do with party favors. Let's not forget that. It's tough to not have that taken off the table. Okay? Or it's hard to not have that stay on the table. I'm sorry. It's very hard because he has a past. Now, again, that could mean nothing. That could mean everything too. But at the same time, he's sitting there going, oh, Alex is a great man. Okay. He's solid. Doesn't mean that he didn't come in with the stuff. Doesn't mean that there isn't a possibility of him coming in with that stuff. You see what I'm saying? But again, you know, he's obviously feeling some type of way, clearly. And is there dip in his mouth? Is he dipping? You know, like tobacco? Does he have tobacco stuffed in his cheek or right in front of his mouth? It seems a bit odd. Like it seems like he's dipping while he's having these interviews. He's dipping, right? Or am I on crack? Maybe I shouldn't suggest that. I bet you if Jordan is that skilled of a chemist, he probably making his own homemade crack. But moving on from that, he says, yeah, he would hook people up even before, even all the way back in high school. I'm going to roll that back.
Good man.
He's a good man.
Good man. Alex Lee is a solid. He was one of their best friends forever.
Talking about Alex.
Jordan is somebody that is known from high school as like creating drugs for people to make them feel better in certain situations.
Okay. So remember what we were talking about earlier, where I was like, okay, maybe Jordan, as they said in the rumor mill, okay, because everybody's been people from that knew him in high school, that known him personally still to this day, up to present day, are sliding into the group chat and putting in their 2 cents about, oh, Jordan's weird, Jordan's this, and this, right? And remember I said a couple shows ago about the possibility of him like trying to maintain friendships through gifts or through his, through his excessive amounts of money or whatever. He's a single guy. He doesn't have no kids. Last I checked, he's got a good paying job. He's got a really nice crib. He's buying tickets for all of his friends to go to the next Chiefs game. At least that's what he was planning on doing, according to Pascal, right? So what are the chances of him being the guy who's brought around, who is kept in the group because he got the righteous chemicals, baby? That he got the hookup, or he knows how to hook things up because he's a chemist, and because maybe he takes that extra time in his life to know how to make certain things seem like, or, X, the Molly, those things, right? Things that can be chemically made, that he's like, yeah, I made some Percocets, y'all. You want some? They're homemade though. You see what I'm saying? Yo, I just made crack. I know that sounds crazy, but what if I actually made meth? I made some crystals, y'all. Want to come over and try it? It's phenomenal. You see what I'm saying? Breaking Bad. Literally. Breaking Bad. Or Heisenberg. Sprinkle a little bit of Walter White in there without kid or wife. I mean, I'm just saying. He could be making his own blue magic. Something to think about. If what he's saying here is actually true. So this could have been his in from high school all the way to this moment. Staying with the crowd, staying with the in crowd. Oh, he makes the craziest. Yo, this dude is crazy. They don't hang out with him outside of him providing. Remember what I said about him buying tickets. In my mind, I'm like, is that his way of maintaining these relationships with these guys? Is him going, hey, I got some really great stuff. This stuff is insane. Yo, you got to come over. I just made this new batch or whatever. Yo, he made that blue magic. Yo, let's go over there. Let's kick it. This is going to be fun. It could be. That could be it. If these allegations from what this cousin is saying here is true, then this is insane. And he's been doing it for a very long time, allegedly. That's crazy. This is the reason why everybody and their mama had jaws on the floor when they heard this from the cousin late last night. They're like, what? You telling me that he what? So he a chemist. Oh, he out there cooking. He a cook. Interesting. Breaking Bad.
Okay, well, you want to do this? Okay, I'm gonna make this for you. I'm gonna make this for you. I'm gonna make this for you, and handing him out.
And then the other thing too, let's not forget that part. It almost sounds like he was making special requests. Man, I really want to get this, but I don't want to have to go down the street and buy it from this. Oh, then I got you. You want X? I can make it the purest of X. You want that mall? You want some of that mall? I can make it the purest you'll ever have. No side effects, no blah, blah, blah. I got you, man. I'm the chemist. Hey, you know, just lean on J-Dub. I got you, baby. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That's crazy. But if that is true, these are some wild allegations. Yes, this is most definitely insane in the membrane. This is insane, y'all. Yes, ass man. Yes. Trust me, man. You know, like I got you, bro. You know? That's crazy. Okay. But let's continue. Heisenberg. Hamburger.
At this point, the country knows what's going to happen, right? What the toxicology reports are going to, what they're going to reveal. We all know that, okay? Who is the one that gave it to them? And who is the one that needs to be held responsible? Where did it come from? The police are doing their job. If it takes time, it takes time. I will never tell them they're not doing what they should be doing. They're doing the best they can. It takes time because you want it to be correct at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And that's what I hope is when at the end of the day it comes out correct.
Yeah. And I will say that too. I agree with what he's saying. The police need to do their thing. Investigations are going to take however long it needs to take. Again, we got weeks until we hear. What actually happened, like the toxicology reports, the autopsy report. I'm assuming the autopsy report will be coming out sooner than the toxicology report. But that stuff couldn't come soon enough. I do agree with that. But also at the same time with the families, how they're all sitting here saying, hey, or two of the families are sitting here saying, like, listen, we're reaching out to police and they're not telling us anything. I understand that frustration. 5-0 should be more transparent with the families. To the general public, to the media, okay, we can wait. That's fine. Plenty of stuff to hear from other people. Families and friends, are extended families, cousins are coming out here dropping bombshell after bombshell after bombshell. So we can listen to these until we get the toxicology report, until they actually get done with their full investigation, if there's a full investigation being constructed right now. But yeah, I agree. You know, we can't sit there and go, how dare you 5-0? Okay, I get it. I get that piece. Let them do their thing if they really are doing their thing, right? But here's the thing, just really quick, this is just a constructive thing. I think the only reason why he's mumbling is because he is dipping while he's doing this interview. That's just so you guys know. I know a lot of y'all like, oh yeah, he high as hell. He high as hell. I don't know if he's high though. He may be. He may be on something, but he doesn't. But the mumbling is because of him dipping. I will say that. But everyone grieves differently. And I don't think he knew he was going to get sideswiped, randomly encountered by media while he's wherever he is right now, you know? So, I mean, he's outside a building. I think this is where the families were meeting up to hear what they have, as far as the investigation and whatnot. So maybe he was just outside, just chilling and waiting, you know? This could be him having a few, it could have been Bud Light therapy. You never know, he may have had a few before he walked into this thing, A lot of people are going through a lot of stuff right now over there. So everyone grieves differently, right? So dip doesn't help. But at the same time, yes, Resin. He is upset. He lost a family member. Damn right. Yeah. And I'm hoping everybody gets the chance to grieve properly. But if they're seeking justice, it might be a long road for that. It depends. It depends on what Jordan says. If Jordan comes out and says, okay, yeah, I was the one who, gave everything. I did this, that, and the third. Then this would be a completely different conversation. NewsNation wouldn't be covering it every single day. See? And I am hoping, before we continue on, I'm really hoping that Jordan, while he's in rehab, has a moment of clarity, has a sobering moment, and confesses, tells the whole truth on what happened. Now, that's not for us to hear. That's for what law enforcement needs to hear. That's what the families need to hear. And if that trickles out into the news and that trickles out into the media, so be it. But what the important people that really need to know what happened here are the families that lost their loved ones. That's first and foremost. And if it is because he had a chemistry set in his basement somewhere or sitting out there in the living room, he needs to fess up to that. If he's the one who is providing all this stuff, if this guy is saying what Caleb is saying here is true, this man needs to fess up, come clean, and give the family what they rightfully deserve.
And when you think about it, there's a difference between Jordan and the three men. Those guys had relationships, they had children, but I keep hearing that Jordan was a single guy who had a house, who had access to drugs, and so it would make sense that those men might go there and use drugs recreationally. Of course, we don't know that for sure until a toxicology report comes out, but all of my sources are saying just about the same thing, that this is very normal activity when surrounded by Jordan.
One other thing I want to ask you about, our next to our station, the local station there, they found out that at least one person in that house was up until 2 a.m. So Sunday into Monday morning, up late into 2 a.m. Monday morning, at least once, which is fascinating given all of these, the timeline of events. But Alex Weimer Lee, I think he calls himself Alex Lee, says he left at midnight, everything was fine. You were able to talk with Alex Lee. Did he shed any more light on that or anything else? The fact that apparently someone or all of them were up until 2 a.m. or anything else?
I have not been able to talk to Alex Lee. I've been trying to talk to Alex Lee. That's been my #1 mission while here, because I know that he was one of the very last people, if not the last person, to see these 4 men, Jordan and those 3 that are now deceased. And so obviously his testimony, his story is going to be critical to this. But I did try to stop by his house that we found through background checks, knocking on his door. You could tell it's most likely his house. Kansas City Chiefs flags hanging everywhere. And the addresses matches up to our typical backgrounding system. But I cannot find the guy. Really hard to find him. We do know that he also has a lawyer. I'm told from my sources that it seems like he is willing to talk soon, because he knows that there is a lot of bad mouthing that's happening about him. Because as you heard me mention to Caleb, is there any possibility that Alex Lee brought the drugs? They know that that could be a possibility, a theory out there. And so I wanted to get to the bottom of it. I'm trying to find Alex Lee. But from Caleb's perspective, he does not believe that Alex Lee is responsible for this. He believes that Jordan is the one that's actually making these drugs and providing them to his friends.
Okay, real quick, I'm gonna roll that back in a little bit, but this is a big problem. This is a very, very big problem, given the fact that Alex Lee is nowhere to be found. He's not answering his door. He's gone. Again, he is still the 5th and only surviving person outside of Jordan that left that house. He left that house alive. He's the only other person. He's an eyewitness, at least an eyewitness. But I also got to say this too. I get it. A couple things, and I've said this before, but just because he has a track record, that he has a rap sheet dealing with moving party favors out here does not automatically mean that he's the one who is providing. I have to put that on the table. We still have to keep that on the table. Doesn't mean that he's innocent, but also does not mean that he is guilty. We have to remember that, because you never know. You just never know. But there are reports of after he found out that his friends had passed, he was texting other people about the party favors that were being used at Jordan's house. So there's two different ways you could look at it now. Now that we hear about him being a chemist, right? Two different things. One, well, actually three if you think about it. So just ride with me for a second. Here's my theory, or theories, and these are possibilities, and they're all probably going to be wrong. But speculation warning. I'm just gonna put that up here. Okay, speculation warning. Here we go. Okay. Theory number one. Alex provided the base, the foundation of whatever. If Jordan really is a chemist, he was the one who provided the foundation of whatever he concocted from. You still need some certain party favors, especially like if you're trying to, make some other things. All right. Some brown or maybe a rock or anything like that. You still need certain things, right, at your disposal. Sometimes you need that powder as a foundation to create something else. And again, I'm not an expert. I swear to God, I'm not. But, this is stuff that you can find online. All right. But anyway, okay, he's a chemist. He does his research. He does his thing. Maybe he was able to take a few of those things, whatever, from Alex, because maybe Alex was able to provide. You also got to remember him being able to take something like maybe do reverse math, take a product, do reverse math on it, figure out how it was made, right? From doing his sciencey stuff, breaking down that particular party favor and figuring out what those things are. That could be it too, right? Or taking something and turning it into a more potent or more monstrous of a party favor. It's getting that thing and kicking it up a notch. Oh, I got it, but I'm going to you're going to feel more euphoria than you've ever felt in your whole entire life. I'm going to supersize this mother lover. So that's an option. Okay. That's a possibility. Okay. Another thing. Now, this is insane. Another thing. Maybe Jordan gives these things. I know this sounds crazy, but maybe Jordan gives these things to Alex to push out. Hence the reason why he was contacting other friends, being like, don't touch that stuff. That stuff that Jordan just had. No, don't do it. It's a bad batch, bad batch, bad batch. Abort. I know that sounds crazy. I even chuckled myself a little bit. But what if? What if he runs these streets for him? What if Alex actually runs these streets for him? Because other friends that knew him from high school or college or whatever, knew him in this group, were like, yeah, we know he has like some really good stuff. And so he just passes it over to Alex, and he goes off and he does bop, bop, bop. You see what I'm saying? Just saying. Just a thought. Or, it goes back to the good old thing. Good old fashioned. Jordan had something. Had nothing to do with chemistry. Just regular old stuff. They partook. Bad things happened. Or it's Alex coming in with this stuff. Bad things happened. And so on and so forth. But he had 48 hours to 50 hours to clean up. And we now know that for sure. that the cops walked in and they didn't see anything weird. They didn't see some random rudimentary put together chemistry set in his kitchen or in his basement or anything of that sort. They just walked right in, saw the men and said, hey, no foul play. Let's kick rocks. Bag them, tag them, let's go. But no matter what, if, and again, Alex could very well be 110% innocent, okay? He could just be somebody who just partook or knew that Jordan had some great stuff. Maybe he wanted to go and check it out to maybe possibly buy or obtain some for himself on a later date, but he wanted to see it with his own two eyes. Maybe that's why he went over there. He's alive. So it's not like he took something that took him out. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about Alex. So maybe he just went there just to see it. It's like, yo, it's like this green thing. It's freaking nuts. Man, you got to see it. But this stuff will get you so high, right? So he's like, yeah, let me go and see this. Yeah, I'll come over for a beer or two. Whoa, this stuff is crazy. Wow. That's how you made it? Wait, how did you make it? Look, come down to my lab, bro. And they go over to his lab and there it is. I mean, again, I'm dressing up a crazy story here. But the fact that you have the cousin out here, let me pull his face back up here. The cousin out here saying that he's known as the chemist, and he's out here going like, yo, if you need something that's going to like lower your anxiety, make you feel euphoric and make you feel like you're the king of the world, man, I got something for you, bro. Say less, bro. Hold on. I got you. You know what I'm saying? If that is even anywhere near true, then there had to have been a chemistry set going on somewhere in that house. He had 48 hours to clean all that stuff up, box all that stuff, and put it away somewhere. Also, remember, U-Haul was there too. U-Haul was there too. He had a U-Haul truck there too. He was trying to get the hell out because he knows for a fact there is something in that house that would incriminate him or put him in a really bad place. Now, him going to rehab, that's another conversation in itself. I do think that he probably is getting high off his own supply. Okay? That's what I think. Something bad happened. He's like, damn. Because he's going mad scientist. He's trying to turn, like it's green and black. I call it the Frankenstein. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever he calls it. And he's like, yo, look, here it is. And it gets you just, wow. You'll be walking around like this, man. It's going to be crazy. And they go try it and then bad reaction. He's like, crap. Of all the times that I've made so many different things, this is the time that it wipes out all my friends. What? And then he freaks out. But then continues to drink or do whatever he's doing behind closed doors. He had time to do those things, but this is the problem. As soon as you start hearing this, okay, Willis was known as the chemist and he's been doing stuff like this since high school. It turns into something, right? It turns into something else. When before he went to rehab, and in my mind, I'm going, okay, so then he went to rehab. So that means that there were party favors involved. Cool. That's very basic, right? It's very basic. But then as soon as he says chemist, and he's been known for concocting things and stuff, you're like, damn, now it's going way off the rails. Now it turns into some weird sci-fi Breaking Bad Lifetime movie, So I'm wondering if this is any way true. And I guess I'll put up a poll because I know you guys love those polls. Hey, but I know you guys love these polls. I am 12 years old. Let me see this here. Hold on. Do you believe Clayton's cousin? I'm going to keep it that simple. Do you believe Clayton's cousin? I just put a poll up at the top of the chat on YouTube, guys. Vote. Get your ass to the poll. I need to make that a soundbite. I really do. But get your ass to the poll and let me know what you think. Or do you think this guy's just high himself and just making stuff up just to try to make Jordan look bad? You know, do you believe this or no? Me, I'm like, damn, this is muddying up the water a little bit, in my personal opinion. Does it have to be this complicated? You know, Avril Lavigne, does it have to be this complicated? You feel me? But at the same time, I'm like, maybe it really is that. And it goes all the way back to what a lot of us were predicting or, speculating, in the very beginning, that this is some mad scientist, mad chemist type of thing. And he gave these guys something that got them really, really sick to the point where they passed out and passed away. But I'm going to replay that last part really quick. We're going to go on to the next piece here. But I'm telling you, the fact that Alex Lee is nowhere to be found is not good. I get that he has his lawyer, but he's gone. And I don't think that's good news. I don't look at that as good. All right. Both of them are gone. Jordan's in rehab, but Alex is now nowhere to be found, which I think is trash, in my personal opinion.
Which is fascinating, given all of these, the timeline of events.
Crazy.
But Alex Weimer Lee, I think he calls himself Alex Lee, says he left at midnight, everything was fine. You were able to talk with Alex Lee. Did he shed any more light on that or anything else? The fact that apparently someone or all of them were up until 2 a.m. or anything else?
I have not been able to talk to Alex Lee. I've been trying to talk to Alex Lee. That's been my number one mission while here, because I know that he was one of the very last people, if not the last person, to see these four men, Jordan and those three that are now deceased. And so obviously his testimony, his story is going to be critical to this. But I did try to stop by his house that we found through background checks, knocking on his door. You could tell it's most likely his house. Kansas City Chiefs flags hanging everywhere. And the addresses matches up to our typical backgrounding system. But I cannot find the guy. Really hard to find him. We do know that he also has a lawyer. I'm told from my sources that it seems like he is willing to talk soon because he knows that there is a lot of bad mouthing that's happening about him. Because as you heard me mention to Caleb, is there any possibility that Alex Lee brought the drugs?
Let me ask this. Let me just say this really quick. The sooner, and if Alex, hey Lee, if you're listening to the show, if you're watching the show and you just happen to watch right now at this moment, you might want to get ahead of this as soon as possible, because the longer you sit, the longer you wait to make your word, like make a public announcement or to speak out for like the second time, the more people are going to speculate that you took this time to conjure up your best timeline or to conjure up some more lies. I'm just going to say that out loud. So you might want to get out and speak on this, or tell your lawyer to give the timeline out ASAP Rocky, because everybody and their mama is going to be side-eyeing you no matter what. You've been waiting this long, and now they're going to be like, well, now it just seems like you're trying to see what the media is saying so that you can tailor your timeline specifically either with what the media is saying or against what the media is saying, so that it distances you as much as possible from this particular mystery. That's not a good thing. Okay? So that's what I'm going to say really quick. Let me continue.
I know that could be a possibility, a theory out there. And so I wanted to get to the bottom of it. I'm trying to find Alex Lee, but from Caleb's perspective, he does not believe that Alex Lee is responsible for this. He believes that Jordan is the one that's actually making these drugs and providing them to his friends.
Now, The fact that he's saying that he's making tailor-made drugs is crazy. Like, this is tailor-made specifically for you. You got anxiety, but you want to feel good inside. Feel like you can knock down a whole building with just one shoulder. I got something for you. I can make it tailor-made. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like right now. That is some crazy stuff. That is some Heisenberg type ish. Okay. Skylar, I am the one who knocks. Interesting, don't you think? Now, moving on, we got another thing. Family is now talking after the meeting that they had with the prosecutor. And the thing is this is, I think, the reason why Caleb was outside the building. The families went to meet with the prosecutor to find out what they have as far as an investigation goes and all that. And I guess it was, as Ashley Banfield, I think, said, if I remember correctly, in the very beginning of that clip, the previous clip we just watched, she said immediate family was only allowed in the room. So I think Caleb went with to show support, right? And so apparently there's more that they said here, which we are going to take a look and take a listen to, which is interesting as well. Please go get your butts to the poll. Okay, it's up to the top. It's at the top of the chat right now. Please go check it out. Hit that yes, no, what you think. Go and vote. Okay, vote or die. Right. And also, if you can, please hit that like button down below if you appreciate the conversation. You appreciate me giving you guys the stories that you need and done in my way, because it is unique. Please hit that like button. Send it past. Well, let's get it to 1K. Let's get it to 1K. I think that's going to be very easy to do. Get it to 1K real quick. Just get it to 1K. Get it to 1K. All right. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button on my Facebook page. That'll be greatly appreciated. Check out my merch page too, pascalmerch.com. All right. Seriously. As you can see, I got some orders coming out. So some really dope stuff. Bad Al. Okay. Some really nice. This is the brownstone. Just an example. All right. So go check it out. Handmade, handcrafted t-shirts and hoodies. Okay. But let me get back into this. Let's take a listen to this, shall we?
Linda, how did the meetings go today with the Platte County prosecutors?
It went well. We got just reassurance that they are looking into this case fully. They didn't give any specifics on, evidence or what they found or what they haven't found. They just reassured us that it is being investigated.
Did they make any mention of Jordan Willis and reports that he checked himself into rehab recently?
They only mentioned that there is a rumor of that. They don't have any verification of that.
But they acknowledged they had heard that same report.
Yes, they did acknowledge that.
Linda, did they give any further descriptions of the way the bodies were found in the backyard?
No, they did not. And they said they weren't going to give specifics because they didn't want to taint the investigation. They didn't want to paint any possible anything going forward. So they just weren't getting into specifics.
And it must be so frustrating, especially since this most recent report that David Harrington was found seated in one of those lawn chairs out back. Did they say anything about what David and Ricky and Clayton were wearing out back?
They did not. Like I said, they did not give us anything on the investigation side. They didn't want to possibly, if you were called in to be a what is the word I'm looking for? If you were called into court to answer questions, they didn't want to taint what you might say.
Understandable. I know that April Mahoney, who is Clayton McGeeney's fiance, made the discovery, at least of one of the bodies. Can you explain that or describe that as you have learned from her? How exactly did she see the body that she saw? Was it through a window? Did she go into the backyard? Like, how did it happen?
My understanding is she entered the house through the front into the basement. And she went upstairs and was looking through a window and saw the body seated on the back patio in a chair.
So she was able to see through a window that David Harrington was seated in that lawn chair on that back patio. Did she mention if it was the kitchen window or if it was the doorway window or it might be a sunroom or a breakfast nook? Did she mention which window?
She did not, and I have not personally talked to her.
And again, we remember yesterday morning show, we talked about how and this is the stepmom, okay? This is Ricky Johnson's stepmother, just so you guys know. I know somebody said, is this his stepmom? Yes. Ricky Johnson's stepmom. They were on yesterday's show. And during the show, they said, fiance of Clayton McGeeney broke into the house, walked into the house, and in the living room or within eyesight, like she could clearly see that there was somebody sitting in a chair. That it wasn't like she had to peer through anything. She didn't have to open up the blinds or anything of that sort. Nothing changed. Those guys were sitting there, or David Harrington was sitting upright in a chair, and it was clear as day. Nothing was obstructing her view. She didn't have to peer through anything, move or anything around. She could clearly see that there was somebody sitting on the patio in a lawn chair, and that was David Harrington. So the fact that Jordan's sitting here saying, I didn't see anything, is insane. But I do wish that the fiance, at least through a lawyer or at least through, a spokesperson, somebody who could represent her, I wish she could just give us, and this is me just being selfish, okay? Because I'm so invested in this mystery, in this story. This will be a case. Let's be real. This is going to become a case. All right. So I'm going to start saying it's a case already. But everybody, we're all very sucked into this particular mysterious case about these three guys. One person that knows something that could tell us what it looked like when she walked into the house. If there was any paraphernalia anywhere, residue, if the place was a mess, if it was spotless, any of those things, if the dogs were inside there or not, right? That could give us a little bit more insight on what this picture really looks like. And I wish you would just come out and just say something. Like I said, not trying to torture the woman or anything, but at the same time, if we can hear from other people or a source or something, reliable source or somebody representing her on her accounts of what she saw, oh my gosh, that would help so much for a lot of us, right? But that's just me being selfish, okay? That's just me being straight up selfish. But what's frustrating is, yes, it's great that the prosecutors sat down with the families, told them, things, but they didn't really give them much information. Still, not a lot of information. The only positive thing I could say about all this is that at least something is in motion. There is at least a forward motion going on here, right? It's not just them sitting around and saying, hey, we're calling cops and no one's doing anything, blah, blah, blah. At least there is forward motion on something. So I look at that as the silver lining within this whole situation.
This is just
Did she?
Information that I have received secondhand.
Were you or your husband, Ricky, asked to come and identify Ricky's son, Ricky Jr.? Who made the identification for the police?
We were not asked to go identify the body. They told us that the bodies have to thaw out. They were frozen, and that could have possibly have taken to that Friday. Well, we weren't really willing to wait that long. So I called the medical examiner the next day, and I started describing Ricky's tattoos and his piercings, and she told me that was one of the deceased that she had.
Did you ask if you could come and make that identification personally yourselves?
I did call the police and ask them if that is something we could do so we could get an identification sooner, because you still hold out hope that he is going to come home. You want to make sure that that's him. I was told that that's something that you only see in movies. These people to identify bodies.
To be clear, they said that's only something they do in the movies if you wanted to identify Ricky yourselves. Is that clear?
Yes, that's for me.
Interesting. And yeah, something about them having to thaw out is crazy. I mean, that's some wild stuff. To have to thaw your loved one, knowing that they were so frozen that they had to thaw them out before they can even do anything. You know, it's crazy. Again, it's crazy. And now I think that there's it's interesting. All of this is very, very interesting. I think when it comes to the Chemist allegations, I mean, it's not a far-fetched thought, right? It's not a far-fetched thought. It's still a possibility. Okay. Ooh. Sundancer just said, I knew Caleb, Clayton's cousin, some years back. I 100% believe him. Can you call in, Sundancer? Could you call in? Because I'd love to pick your brain on that. Just let me know yes or no. If not, I understand. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Real talk. I really would. Guys, I do have the poll up. Please go get your butt to the poll. Put in your 2 cents, by simply hitting that yes or no vote. Go and vote. All right. That'll be greatly appreciated. Let me get some of these super chats really quick before they all disappear on me. S-Dubs, thank you so much for the 2. I accidentally blocked. Fuzz, can you undo it? I need to look into that. I'll see what's up. I will see what is up. But sorry, Fuzz. I guess it was a mistake. All right. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah. Where is that at? Hopefully I didn't scare her. Hopefully I didn't scare her off. But if she's down, yes, that'd be great, because I'd love to hear some. I'd like to know why, right? Like, if you know what I mean. I'd really, really like to know why, right? And so if she's still around, hopefully we can get her on. Real quick, Latasha, thank you so much for the 5. I really appreciate it. The cousin isn't high. Don't think it's tobacco under his lip. Okay. More like his bottom lip is tight out of anger. Old dude was a mad chemist. Yeah. I mean, well, it could be him doing that or he has an underbite. I don't know, but it did seem like, I don't know about high, but it did look like dip to me, like it could be, but maybe that's just how his mouth is constructed. I don't know, how his jaw is, but thank you so much though. Penny, thank you so much for the 5. Pascal show has the best live chats. Woke up early for this. Penny, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. You're the bomb. Thank you so much for the love. And we all love you here as well. Okay. We try to have an informative time, but of course, try to have a good time while we're at it as well, because a lot of this gloom and doom can be tough, right? Buddy 305 love, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 5. Somebody turquoise just said, what is dip? It's basically tobacco. Okay, it's just basically tobacco that you put in your mouth, right? You put in your basically in your cheek. It's just chewing tobacco, basically. All right. But thank you so much, buddy, for the 5. If he's cooking, where's the kitchen? Yeah, that's what I'd like to know too. I'm thinking it's in the basement. That's a big ass house. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the basement, or if it's in the shed in the back. Maybe, I don't know. There's a shed in the backyard, or even in the garage. That's possible. Somewhere where you could just air out the place really fast, because it's gassy. It's gaseous fumes that could be very dangerous to someone, right? So that's possible. All right. Police didn't find anything that night. You can never be that clean. Just thinking out loud. I mean, your theory and your thought is not wrong, right? That's not wrong. I don't think there's any wrong answers right now because of the information, the lack of information that we've gotten. Right now, we just heard about him being a chemist, right? I mean, we already knew that he was a scientist. We already knew about all that. But the fact that they're saying that he is a chemist, that's a lot. That says a lot here. And the fact that he was making tailor-made party favors for friends, that's crazy, guys. That's great. Like I said, you can't write that. Well, you could, Breaking Bad does exist. But like I said, he's making tailor-made party favors, y'all. Allegedly, according to Caleb. According to Clayton's cousin, who apparently knows these guys very, very well as well, and has known Jordan since high school as well. So that's a lot. That's crazy. Julie Jam, thank you so much for the 10. I appreciate it. Thank you. I used to know someone that would make their own X, their own acid, DMT, etc., to obtain extra funds to supplement his lifestyle. Let's pause on that for a second. The fact that there's someone out there that knows how to make their own stuff is beyond me. That's crazy, guys. I mean, think about that for a second. In no way, shape, or form am I endorsing any of this stuff. But at the same time, I mean, all you got to do is look it up. Nowadays, you just look it up. That's all you need to do. And then next thing you know how to make, if you have those things at your disposal, I guess. Yeah. And you got to remember too, he's a scientist. He's working on a poke for the high 5 for the HIV. Right? Roman numeral V, the 5, Roman numeral 5. Anyway, but he's working on the HIV poke. He's doing all this stuff. So him having access to certain chemicals are possible. Possible. I wouldn't say like it is the truth, but it is possible. Right? Sorry, I'm just checking something here really quick. If that girl responds back, let me know. If she says yes, then I will open up the phone line for her. Sorry, I'm looking at Penny just said you don't have to be a chemist to do it, to do that. And that's true. That's very true too. you can look up anything and figure it out. But if you got somebody who knows how his way around a chemistry lab or a chemistry kit, and it's like, this is the simplest, because a lot of times, like, okay, I don't know about you guys, but do you guys remember, for those of y'all who have seen Breaking Bad, okay, if y'all have seen Breaking Bad, the very, very beginning of it, he's a very brilliant chemist, scientist. But because of having a kid and all that, he had to stop his dreams of becoming some huge, like starting some huge business and all that, and became a chemistry teacher. Okay. And then, of course, he finds out that he has cancer, and because he's only a high school chemistry teacher, the money that he makes is minimal. And yeah, we do need to get our teachers more money out here. Teachers need to get paid more. But he suddenly goes, I'm going to start cooking. I'm going to start making crystal. So he makes like the most purest of crystal, if you get what I'm saying, out here. And in the show, he says, it's just basic chemistry. It's so easy. It's basic chemistry. There it is, right? He's talking about, he was making meth. Very, very strong, high potent stuff. Okay. And he's like, it's just basic chemistry. So what are the possibilities of this too? When you're looking at look at the things that that Julie Jam just said. This guy was making, apparently someone she knew was making his own party favors too. That's crazy. That's crazy. And a lot of times it's just basic chemistry. Just look it up. You're like, that's all you need? Oh my Lord. Just saying. And he was doing this to obtain funds to supplement his lifestyle. What are the chances of actually this guy Jordan graduating? Graduating his funds, graduating the business into something bigger. Just saying. Okay. Oh, thank you. Let me put that in there. Oh, hold on. I will put that in there in just a second. Let me finish this super chat. Thank you so much, Julie Jam. I'm so sorry, but that just made me think about Breaking Bad. I'm so sorry. But that's crazy that there's people out here that go, it's just basic chemistry, y'all. Just basic chemistry, right? Thank you, Ava. I'm going to put that phone number in here in just a second. I believe that Jordan probably did that very thing, but he did it to keep friends, just to be cool. Yep, that's what I'm thinking. Like, this was his way of staying in the in crowd, or at least his version of the in crowd, still being wanted, still being needed, because there's a certain power that he had. That ability to do that is phenomenal and scary at the same doggone time. It's dangerous, obviously. And y'all, that's not something that you want to do. That's definitely something you do not want to do. I do not recommend kiddos doing something like that. But if it was like homeopathic home remedies for colds and stuff like that, that's awesome. When you're like, I just need to take this root and this leaf and crush it up and turn it into a tea, and bingo bango, my cold is gone. Wow. Thanks, buddy, who's a botanist. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's an amazing skill, knowing how to do those things. But that's dangerous when you turn it into party favors. And then, of course, taking that skill and trying to turn it into a business, which could very well be what it is too. Or it could have been like, nah, I just make these for my friends. We just have fun. No biggie. But this is how I stay relevant with my friends. This is this is how I get people involved with me. This is how I get them calling me up. And how I'm one of the most important people in the room, because I provide. And I provide some righteous stuff. I mean, that's crazy. But it could very well be true. This phone number is only for Cloud. Wait, I just totally forgot their name now. I feel like a jerk. Hold on. Where is it? Y'all just said it like 15 times. Sundancer. Sorry. This phone call, this number is only for Sundancer, but please give me a call. All right, Sundancer. If it's not Sundancer, I hang up on your Okay, I hang up on that A. All right, period, point blank. But give me a call. Phone number's up in the chat. Okay, Sundancer, thank you so much. Sorry about that, guys. I read all these comments and I got all these things going on in my head. Short-term memory fried. Okay, but let me see about this. Hold on. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, hi, how you doing? It's Sundancer.
Hey, Sundancer. Hey, first off, thank you so much for commenting. You know what I mean? Because I know it takes a lot of guts to call into a show or to even comment and all that. But I do appreciate you hopping on and just giving us your 2 cents. But real quick, I just want to pull this up because I just want to make sure it's up, because just to have his face in the shot here. But okay, where are you calling in from?
Kansas City.
Okay. So tell me, of course, I'm not trying to trash talk anybody. I'm not trying to do anything of that sort. But you said that you know Caleb, right? This man that's on. Go ahead.
Yeah, I knew Caleb, so
okay.
I didn't mean to really interject myself too much into the conversation since it has been quite a few years removed. I knew him maybe 12, 13 years ago, but from what I know of Caleb, Clayton, Alan, the whole McGeeney family, Caleb wouldn't be one to make it up about what he knows about the situation. So I 100% believe what Caleb's saying. And my prayers are with the family for sure.
Absolutely. So when you say you believe what he's saying, what do you mean by that exactly? And what I mean is can you hear me? Oh no. I'm going to try calling her. Hold on, guys. What the heck? Let me try calling her. Come on. What the heck? Try that again. That's so weird. Okay. Okay. Let me try this. Actually, Sundancer, if you're still watching, I am going to, if you're still watching, that's crazy. I don't know what just happened. But there she is. Hello?
Hi.
Hey.
I don't know the last thing that you guys heard.
Yeah, no, I heard we heard that you knew him in the past. Of course, you're not trying to slide in the group chat and muddy up any waters or talk ill will on anybody, which we totally understand. But you did say something about how you knew. You said that you believe Caleb. Now, what I want to know is, did you know about Jordan and his certain set of skills?
No, I have no recollection of Jordan or any of the other men that were at the house that night. I just know that my boyfriend in the past, my ex-boyfriend, worked with and was friends with the McGeeney boys for, I believe they were even childhood friends. So that's how I knew them, was through him.
Gotcha. Okay. So you know nothing about as far as what Caleb is saying out here, but you do believe him.
Yeah. I do believe him. Yeah. I don't believe it's anything that he would lie about. I don't think that he would have any reason to make up allegations towards Jordan versus, I believe the other guy's name is Alex. I think that he's kind of a straight shooter to where if he had, reasons to believe one thing, he's not going to sugarcoat it or embellish it. He's going to tell it like it is, and especially with the passing of his cousin.
Gotcha. Okay, so when it comes to okay, you knew these guys in the past, and I know this is like in the past, and I know that everyone has room to change over years and all that. But I'm going to ask you anyway. Did your your ex-boyfriend at that time and all that, did they partake? Did they did they get themselves involved in other in drugs and everything like that? I'm not here to pass any judgment, but it is just a question out here.
That's understandable. We were all in our early 20s, and the only thing I ever remember was downing Patron and having poker nights and maybe smoking a little weed here and there. But as far as anything else is concerned, I never witnessed anything else done. But we weren't hanging out on an every night basis. It was on random weekends,
Right.
So who knows what people are doing in their personal lives, but I don't personally know any of them or Clayton to have partaken in anything else outside of, just THC and beverages.
Yeah, and the sauce. Okay. Well, I mean, I do appreciate you calling in and just giving us your 2 cents, but you do believe that Caleb is not out here just making this up, or just trying to muddy up the waters or make things weird, make things worse for Jordan. You really do think that what he knows is the truth?
Yeah. I don't think that he would put himself out there, especially in the media, and make stuff up either. But outside of that, I do believe him just because I don't know him to, at least in the past, to make stuff up.
That's true.
So.
Well, first, thank you, Sundance, for calling in. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, I do appreciate that piece of information. I will say this, because I know you've been following this. Obviously, you have. Like you wouldn't be on the show right now talking to me. But don't you find it just a little bit of a left turn, or do you think this is just not as far fetched because it's coming from a source that you believe in?
I think it's more of just a shock to hear it out loud. Because we've all had some, in our heads at least, some wild speculation as to what potentially could have gone down.
Right.
But there is other stuff left to be said, like just because he is the chemist, was it an intentional, or was it just something that they were partaking in altogether knowingly, or if it was unknowingly done? There's still a lot of speculation to be had, but nothing's really not gonna really know until time plays out.
Right. You're not wrong. Yeah, we need to wait. We need a little bit more time, and I'm very interested in what that toxicology report's going to say, because if it's not THC, if it's not cocaine, if it's not any other elements that would give us anything harder, right? H, the crystal, etc. If X, even if there's nothing in there but all this other concoctions of stuff, then that'll tell us something for sure.
Absolutely.
But Sun Dancer, I do appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much for just coming in and giving your 2 cents.
Yeah, thank you for your coverage, and I got my prayers out for all the families involved, and that not to be, but for the boys, and for Kansas City, go Chiefs.
Yeah, go Chiefs indeed. I appreciate you. Talk to you soon.
All right. Yeah, have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Interesting, guys. I appreciate somebody calling in and vouching for Caleb, because I know that there's going to be pushback. All right. I mean, I had a little bit of pushback. I'm curious about this too. I'm curious because it's quite an allegation. It is quite a thing to come out here and say, yeah, he was known as the chemist and he made tailor-made stuff, but it is really appreciative to have somebody come in and say, hey, I know this guy. He's a straight shooter. He's a real down-to-earth guy. He would not be out here talking crazy in these interviews and all that just to make things worse. But the fact that he's saying that he's known as a chemist and that there are people out here that do believe that. I mean, yeah, it's so wild that it can't not be true. I know that was a double negative, but it just can't not be true, right? It's just so wild that it very much could very well be true, right? Wild stuff. It's you can't make this stuff up, guys, but it's true kind of situation. But now we're hearing from somebody who is saying, hey, I know the guy. He's a good guy. He wouldn't lie. He wouldn't make up this kind of stuff. He knows some things. And it looks like he does. Why would he go on in an interview and say all this crazy stuff? He's definitely not Paserno. Let's keep it real. He's not Paserno. Okay? Because now that's out here. This interview's out here for everyone to hear and everyone to consume. And it is being spread like wildfire, especially within the community that has been so focused and pulled in with this mysterious case. But I do appreciate the phone call for sure. I'm going to close this poll though, and 744 votes, okay, by a landslide. 82% of y'all believe Clayton's cousin. You do believe that Clayton's cousin ain't lying about Jordan and his apparently his masterful ways, maybe not so much, but his skills around a chemistry set. It's crazy. You know, I just saw something that's very true too. Let me grab that too. Hold on. It's not in the, there it is. Kimberly just said the police need to go and get a search warrant for Jordan's storage unit. Absolutely. Unless, you got to remember, he's had all this time now to get rid of stuff. Those boxes of beakers and granulated cylinders and all that crap, right? All those things. He could have tossed those all away. He could have found some random place to toss all his little chemistry set. Real talk. But you do have a good point. You definitely have a good point. They do need to go and search his storage unit if he didn't toss everything away by now. And I'm telling you right now, he probably did. There may be traces of something that they might be able to find, but that would take some serious digging through that storage unit. That's crazy. That's so crazy. Oh my Lord. What a wild turn of events, guys. I can't even talk anymore. What a wild turn of events. 1 minute we're thinking, oh, he's in rehab. And then now homeboy comes out saying that he's a chemist. He's known to making tailor-made stuff. I mean, this has been one hell of a day, man. It's been one hell of a night. It's been one hell of a 24 hours. Let's keep it a buck. All right. But of course, you know, if there's more information, you know that the information is going to come out. And in fact, I encourage any other person that's involved in this situation or knows about Jordan, I encourage them to step forward and talk. Was he only just making tailor-made party favors for his friends? Like untraceable, it's not addictive, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like tailor-made stuff, right? Is he just making it for those three friends? Or was he making it for other people? And if so, can there be somebody else to come out and vouch for Caleb that actually has bought or tried the tailor-made stuff? That's what I'd like to know. Or that's what I'd like to see. I feel like we need one more person to come in and just be like, bang. Now, he did this. This was definitely his side hustle. He was doing this. I bought it from such and such. So damn right. Yeah, I was there. I would love to hear that. No, but nobody's ever going to come out and say, I bought the stuff and I tried it. Then that might get them in trouble in some sort of way. So that's what sucks about that situation as well. S-Dubs, thank you so much for the 5. If meth, I think if meth, it smells to cook. It smells to cook it. Okay. He wasn't cooking at his house. It was stink of horrible cat pee. Nasty. You know what? You're right. But I mean, it's not like he's in an apartment complex or anything of that sort. So he could open up a window. He can open up, like I said, he could be using the garage as his place to concoct this stuff and just open up the garage when he needs to air it out. Again, he could be straight up Breaking Bad hazmat suits, masks and everything, gas masks and everything. He could literally be donned head to toe like he's Dexter up in this biznai. You never know. Okay. And yes, people, Eric, you're right. People would smell it for sure. But would they instantly go, I smell meth? Like somebody cooking meth. Not everybody's that savvy with it. They might just be like, that's a weird smell. What the hell is that? Baby, did you fart? You know what I'm saying? They may not even know. The houses are close by, close together, but then they ain't that close. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody knows. Then you can easily sit there and say, oh, it might have been, it's the sewage. Instantly you're going, oh, it's sewage. It's got to be sewage. Sewage must be backed up or something weird. So, again, we'll see. Okay? We will definitely see. We will definitely see. But what a wild turn of events. Okay? And again, we will be here. If there's more information that comes out, for a fact, we're going to be watching this like a mug. As more information starts to drop, because it keeps dropping, we are going to be talking about it for sure. And man, I'm just hoping that we just get clarity. This is kind of muddy, but a lot of y'all believe it. Even myself, I believe it too. But it just feels so crazy, to believe it, right? But we'll see what happens here. Anyway, guys, that's the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot. Thank you so much for the phone call. I really do appreciate that as well. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. That would really, really mean a lot. Please do that. Please and thank you. We're almost at 1K. We're less than 40. We're almost less than 30 likes away from 1K. So 30 more people just need to hit that like button. So just go up there, strike that like button real quick. That'll be greatly appreciated. All right. Don't forget, if you haven't done it yet, hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button if you are watching on Facebook. Hit that follow button on my Facebook page. Excuse me. Please and thank you. That would be greatly appreciated. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 116,000 subscribers. We're almost there. So please be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that yet. Oh my Lord, it's so crazy. We're almost there. It's, num. I can taste it. Okay. So please subscribe. Hit that follow button on my Facebook page. Follow me on all my Instagram, my TikToks, and all that stuff. The Pascal Show, one word, that'd be greatly appreciated. And of course, check out my merch. Don't forget to hit that merch, PascalMerch.com. It is pinned to the top of the chat. It's also in the description box down below, just in case you're watching the replay. All right. But anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot. Have a great rest of your Thursday. You deserve it. If more stuff drops, trust and believe we will be here to talk about it. If there's any breaking news, we'll be here to talk about it for sure. Man, this story keeps getting thicker than a snicker. And obviously, we're all here for it. So be on the lookout. Hit that notification bell. Set it to all so you know whenever I go live and whenever I upload, because it is random, especially with this case. With this story, it has been very random. Okay? But I appreciate you guys nonetheless. Thank you so much for the support. I'll be talking to you guys very soon. Have a great Thursday. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. I'll see you guys soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.